Very much. Well, if you've been on Twitter at all this week, you probably saw a lot of tweets about GameStop and the stock market and people saying you can hit it rich. You might also have no idea what everybody is talking about. So this morning we're going to break down what happened with this David versus Goliath Wall Street story, the role Reddit played in it, what it means for investors, and what comes next. So to help us out, Washington Post business reporter Hannah Denham. Certainly one of the stories that is big out there this morning. Hannah, good to see you this morning. I want to talk about GameStop first, and then we can get into the bigger picture of the market activity. For GameStop, how long do you think that we'll be able to continue to ride this wave, up another 30% right now in pre-market?
Right. I've been watching pre-market trading as well, Steve. It's going to be interesting for sure. I think we've had a couple days of volatility. It'll be interesting to continue to watch it, but it really is unpredictable. The fact that GameStop is doing so well currently is a surprise in itself. So I think it's something we've all got to keep our eyes peeled. I've
been trying to simplify this for people and essentially for those who don't understand, and you could fill in the blanks here. But essentially, you know, these hedge fund managers were betting that GameStop would fail. And then a bunch of people fueled by Reddit said, look, we don't want that to be the case, or we don't believe it to be the case. We're going to pool our money together and essentially make sure the hedge fund managers fail. And by them failing, they lose a lot of money and we win. Is that fair?
Right, that is correct. So what happened is the impact is that short sellers, who are these hedge fund managers you're talking about, these are investors that plan to profit from the company's fall, and now they're paying a lot more because the stock hasn't retreated like they expected, because these Reddit users that are on this message board called Wall Street Bets, they rallied and said, you know, this is our chance to sort of democratize Wall Street. This is our chance to fight back. Let's choose GameStop. Let's choose AMC to rally behind. And because of that, now these hedge fund managers are having to purchase more shares at inflated prices to stay ahead of the losses.
So now you have a couple things going on. You have this essential financial civil war, and you can almost picture these hedge fund managers in the Hamptons saying, oh, what are we going to do now? We're losing out to these kids behind a computer who are pushing the buttons. But they're just saying, and some people like Elon Musk with a lot of money are saying, hey, the hedge fund managers have been manipulating the system forever, so maybe they're just losing at their own game.
That's correct. I mean, and it's important to note that we don't actually know who these Reddit day traders are. You know, they advertise themselves as ordinary traders, as, you know, largely inexperienced, but they're also anonymous within this message board. So it's hard to tell, you know, who is making the waves here. I think it's something that we're all watching. But these day traders do see it as sort of, you know, this financial rebellion against an institution like Wall Street. They're saying, you know, this is our chance to push back. This is our chance to make waves in the market.
All right, two things. It's certainly a phenomenon. One, if you follow the Reddit thread, you see a lot of people now throwing other stocks out there. And some of the original users seem to say, hey, slow your roll. Now you're just putting speculation out there for things that we're not necessarily backing. That's point number one. How dangerous is that? And point number two is, if these hedge funds have to cover their losses at some point, are they selling off other stocks that could hurt long-time, maybe more safe investors?
Yeah, I think that's something that a lot of Wall Street is worried about. I think financial experts are worried about. They see this as quite risky. And like you said, this is speculative. But even the backing behind GameStop and AMC, it doesn't quite make sense. You know, these are companies that have really struggled during the coronavirus pandemic. They've posted consecutive losses in the past multiple quarters. And so I think it's something that we'll continue to watch. You know, several other companies, BlackBerry, Nokia, were doing really well following the message board activity yesterday. I think today will be really interesting, continuing to watch it. But I think this could go either way. You know, this could fizzle out in the next few days, or it could continue to build.
It's going to be interesting to watch, Hannah. And like you said, I mean, it's not like the company suddenly started doing better, purely driven by the speculation at this point. Yeah, I guess like anything else, it's a form of gambling. You could win a lot or you could lose a lot.
Definitely. And that really is how the market works.
All right. Hannah, thanks so much for joining us this morning. We do appreciate it. Hopefully that helps you understand this a little bit more, because I know your social media feeds are filled with this. Our